Good evening, and thank you for joining us. On the anniversary of the devastating Slave Lake fire, our own region is battling fierce flames. At around 11 a.m. this morning, a wildfire broke out just south of Kitscoty near Township Road 494 and Range Road 32. Fire crews have been attempting to keep the blaze from climbing up a hill where a farmhouse sits. Residents were seen dousing the house with water, along with fire crews saturating the grass surrounding the area. Crews believe the fire started by a discarded cigarette. And a state of emergency is now in place in the regional municipality of Frenchmen Butte, and many other areas around the region are also battling big blazes. Here are a few of the pictures from Frenchmen Butte. As of now, crews have the blaze contained, but conditions could quickly change with wind fueling the fire. Crews from Frenchmen Butte, Paradise Hill, Onion Lake, and others are combining their efforts. Firefighters are still battling multiple hotspots, but officials say progress is being made, and crews are still battling a fire outside of Bonnyville. The fire department has issued a voluntary evacuation request to all residents in Township 62-7 west of the 4th. Bonnyville has issued a full fire ban, and all previous permits are now revoked. A full fire ban is also in place for the county of Vermilion River. Emergency crews are asking residents to be very cautious and not discard any lit cigarettes. Most rural areas of Alberta are under a fire ban. To find out if your region is affected, you can check the Alberta Fire Ban's website. And here in the border city, a grass fire broke out just after 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Fire crews were able to extinguish the blaze quickly before it spread to any nearby homes. Officials say the fire appears to be human-caused, possibly by youth playing in the field. No one was injured in the blaze. Lloydminster City Council approved new tax rates for the year to support community growth. With a 7% increase in total taxable assessments, residents will be seeing an increase of roughly $250 in property taxes.
They go hand in hand, depending on what the assessments do. The city has no control over what the assessment rates do. So I always make, at budget time, I always make it a guess. And then, of course, the assessments fall out where they are. And that's why we wait until the assessments are completed to actually set the mill rate.
The mill rates have increased from 3.66 last year to 4.19 this year to raise nearly $2 million more. Saskatchewan's population boom is only expected to get bigger, according to the provincial government. Ministers met with local business members to discuss how that will impact the border city.
It's not often Saskatchewan's finance minister makes a trip to the border city, but when he does, he has his work cut out for him. Everything from the housing crunch to healthcare to the overwhelming amount of open jobs in the region were brought forward. And though growth is good news for the province, it comes with its challenges. The big one here, needing two provincial governments to solve them.
We have had joint cabinet meetings between Alberta and Saskatchewan. I think those are things that are going to continue. Premier Wall and Premier Redford have been in conversation a number of times already since the election.
With Alberta's cabinet just announced and Saskatchewan on the brink of a cabinet shuffle, this is the prime time to bring our issues to the forefront.
There should be some opportunity here with fresh faces, eyes and ears to be able to listen to the concerns and the issues that we need taken care of here in Lloydminster.
And though the government is full of plans to tackle the province's top priorities with rental building incentives and actively recruiting workers, the main goal is to voice those challenges here and to start searching for solutions.
I don't know that we necessarily got the answers, but I think that we let the finance minister know what some of our issues are, what some of our complexities are being on the border city.
So now it's just a waiting game to see what solutions come from both provinces and when.
A revised budget for border city streets improvements is now approved, but it wasn't without some disappointment from council members. Elise Cox reports.
The 2012 Street Improvement Program consists of road, curb, and sidewalk repairs.
It's approximately just over $1 million there. Some of the main streets are 36th Street and 62nd Avenue.
The budget breaks down with practically all the funds coming from the Alberta government and some from general revenue. Under budget compared to previous years because some of the money is funding another project.
The devastation of the impact of that work that was done in the summer of 2009, and that takes our attention, our focus, our dollars, but we have to fix Highway 16.
And the city isn't happy that it's taking away repairs to residential streets.
It's a disappointment for me because that could be your street, it could be somebody else's street that, you know, in the normal cycles should be fixed.
Which has council wondering why Alberta is funding most of the project without any funds from Saskatchewan.
It's part of the equation, definitely, is funding from the provinces. As you see with this project here, a big portion of it is coming from, the vast majority of it is coming from Alberta government.
The road improvements are expected to start this spring. Elise Cox, Newcap News.
Public transit, or the lack of it in Lloydminster, is an issue that can get people talking, including city officials. Kelsey Bloxham has the details.
Canada's only border city, home to just shy of 28,000 people, and one of the largest cities in Alberta without public transit.
Me and my wife have one car, so a lot of times it's just easier to hop on a bus or something like that to get somewhere instead of trying to finagle who's got the car and who doesn't. So
every other small city has it. Why doesn't Lloyd have it?
There's quite a few people that are walking, especially in mornings, like their long walk.
Probably not, no, I don't come to town very much, so.
At least one, we would have option to use it. The city is growing.
Now the mayor is revisiting the subject, talking with his team about how they can break ground in the heavily subsidized area.
I'd sure like to see something that at least uncorks and updates a study, if not actually puts our toe in the water.
Mulligan's vision for transit would consist of small 12 to 14 passenger vehicles running on a defined schedule during peak hours.
If we're going to accommodate the people who are either environmentally sensitive, they're new Canadians, new workers to our community, or they simply don't have vehicles or don't plan to have vehicles, how can we make sure that we support that requirement as we grow the city?
And while there is no room in the current budget, Mulligan is looking to 2013, giving the city time to reach out to the community for support.
I think we engage potentially city partners that are in the hospitality industry, are in the hotel and restaurant environment, and perhaps if we can fund the capital, maybe we can find innovative ways to fund the operations differently than cities have in the past.
Plans are now in the works to collect data on how transit in cities similar in size to ours operate to see what options are available. Kelsey Bloxham, Newcap News.